Hello, I'm Enrique Sanguino, nursery teacher at St. John's Primary School in Rotherhithe, London. This video showcases a photography project that I developed for nursery-age children to experience and understand light and shadows through the medium of photography. Inspired by the Reggio Emilia approach and the belief of the environment as the third teacher, this project aims to highlight the strong connection between children and adults that facilitates learning confidence, emotional connection, and visual communication. During the autumn term, I noticed that some children were afraid of the dark. So, in order to help them overcoming this fear, I created a sensory room, a small dark room with light, music, stars, and the moon. It was created as an immersive experience which they use to walk into freely, or to spend time together with peers, to explore with torches, or just to seek for a moment of peace immersed in calming music. In the sensory room, even simple games became starting points for discovery.
The stars. I'm a star keeper. Wow. Okay. And the other one. Where? Oh, wow.
They began to notice how light could change size and shape.
My hand is big.
Moments of laughter, curiosity, and shared imagination, all part of exploring light together.
You look scary.
After children became more confident in the dark, it provided the opportunity to extend the understanding of light and shadows to make images. Thus, I converted the sensory room into a camera obscura, where they could freely walk in and experience a live, although inverted image of the nursery room, projected on a white screen. Inside the camera obscura, the children noticed familiar things in an unfamiliar way.
I see the windows and nursery.
Recognizing the everyday space but transformed through light.
Hello, I see Miss Angela.
Friends outside often wave to those inside, turning it into a playful game of being seen.
Why is she upside down?
Questions began to form, connecting what they saw with what they knew.
Cause of light.
Sometimes they talked, sometimes they sat quietly together, both moments holding curiosity, connection, and care. A pinhole camera is a version of a camera obscura, one that children can hold and use, just like this. It's made out of cardboard, and it's a tool that children use to frame and compose their own images in black and white. At first, the results were unpredictable. Too much light, too little light, and the weather changing our exposure times. So we began asking questions. What's the right exposure time? Can we take photos indoors? What happens if we wait longer? How can portraits be sharper? We tested and recorded our findings, just like real photographers and scientists. We discovered that too little light made the image disappear into darkness, and too much made it fade away. Gradually, we found our sweet spot, a 1 minute exposure in sunny conditions. This became our golden rule, and for portraits, it meant staying very still while the sun timer ran out. Because each sheet of paper and the chemicals were precious, the children planned each photograph carefully, choosing the subject, composing the frame, and directing the pose. They photographed favorite toys, carefully arranging bikes or cars, and most often their friends. Once the negatives were developed, there was still one last step, turning them into positive photographs. For safeguarding reasons, the children couldn't join me in the dark room, but I wanted them to understand how it worked. In complete darkness, I placed each negative face down on fresh photographic paper, then gave it a magic touch, a carefully calibrated torch for just 5 or 6 seconds. The light passed through the negative, creating a reverse image, just like the projection inside the camera obscura. Back in the classroom, the children saw their positives for the first time, the real faces of friends they photographed, now visible in black and white. Alongside this, they used digital cameras to review their images, talk about what made a good photo, and spot things like blurry shots, chopped off heads, or fingers over the lens. This new knowledge fed straight back into their pinhole photography, and the results speak for themselves. With great support from many parents and carers, children visited the Tate Modern, where provocations kept coming from all directions. Children experienced great art through sound, sight, smell, and movement.
Babel has 500 radios. Like in my grandhouse. It's so big.
Let's close our eyes and breathe. How do you feel?
Calm. The spider's called Mother.
Who would like to help her to make a web?
Me.
At the end of the year, families were welcome to celebrate the end of this project with a photography exhibition in our nursery classroom, where it became a buzzing gallery honoring children's voices and understanding of the world that began with a simple act of curiosity led by intention.
It's a bit blurry, but I still know it's us.
Even with the blur, the children could recognize each other in these early portraits. Later, they discovered that keeping the camera steady on a table or bench made the images sharper, a breakthrough that changed the results.
It's a train.
This child's idea began with tires and a toy car, and became something far more intentional. By lowering the pinhole camera to the ground, he created a tunnel-like view, a repetition of shapes, and a destination at the end. This is seeing like a photographer.
I'm a princess. I love castles.
This child's love for fairies and castles is at the heart of this photograph. She chose the scene, set the camera just at the right distance, and composed it with care. Her imaginative play, whether in dress-up or photography, shows the persistence and creativity that carry her story into the world. During this project, children learned that light is something they can see but not grab. Shadows, on the other hand, are not to be afraid of. They help to make photographs instead. They found that in a dark and quiet space, they can find peace and calm. With the camera obscura, they discovered that light flips things, making them look upside down. And with the pinhole camera, they learned to compose a subject of interest, to use a sun timer and the weather to take a clear picture. With a digital camera, they learned to read what images say by seeing with attention. Finally, the photography exhibition was an opportunity to proudly share with the parents the pictures and connections. I'm an early years educator, committed to curiosity, creativity, and care. I'm inspired by the Reggio Emilia approach and its impact on children's learning and lives. I believe learning begins with wonder, grows through play, and thrives in partnership with families. I'm looking for my next chapter with an international school that genuinely shares its values. Thank you so much for watching. If this vision speaks to your school's values, I'll be delighted to connect and explore what we can build together.